Hey guys, this is Eric, the Unexceptional Rounder, and I make videos about poker and put them on YouTube. So here, obviously, is not a gameplay. I'm going to go over something I just made that I've had a few different spreadsheets like this, but essentially what we have here is a Excel spreadsheet that I'm using to try and figure out where my best hourly rate is going to be. Because that's all I really care about. I don't play poker for fun. I don't play it because I like to tell people about it. I play it to make money. And this is hourly rate is the most important thing to me. So now you'll notice I don't have MTTs in here. I have nowhere near the sample to find out what my hourly rate with MTTs would be. Additionally, I don't really care right now because I don't have the bankroll to be playing the $26 MTTs and the $50 MTTs that I'd like to be playing. So, and not enough run. I'm only on full tilt right now, so MTTs aren't really. I'm going to play them on the weekends and kind of play those to actually relax a little bit and try to maybe hit a big score while remaining within my bankroll. But as far as the grind, which is what I'm going to do most of the time, these are the types of things I'm looking at. I'm looking at 6, 9, and 45 man sit and goes. Now I'd like to put the 90s on here. I don't have a SharkScope membership, so I can't filter SharkScope and find out where people's ROIs are at. I generally try to look at, the guys at the top to get an idea of what the max ROI is, and kind of usually put mine a few percentage points below that, because in general I think I can beat the lower stakes sit and goes about as well as most other people. So maybe not be the top guy, but be up there. And so what I did here is I put in. You can see I've got 6-man supers, 45 mans, and 9-mans, and these are all turbos. The 9-mans I didn't put it, but they're what fires up the most. And then the tables I play. Now I want to play, other than the 6-man supers, which I don't think I can handle 8 tables quite yet. I'd like to play 8 on the 45s. The problem is 45s only run consistently during peak hours, and I haven't been on during. I'm not sure exactly what the peak hours are, and I don't know exactly how often they start up. So I kind of did. It's Saturday and around 1 o'clock when I'm making this, so I looked at what they are, on a weekend in the afternoon, kind of a good time that I would be grinding. Maybe potentially grinding some multi-table tournaments. And I'm not going to get into this too much, but I tried to figure out what the best way to play the 45 mans would be. And you can see that the 5s, there's only 9 running per hour, so there was 18 running. They take about 2 hours to finish. And then, the 10s and the 22s. Or these are 24s. Actually, these are 24 plus 2. These are 26s. I think. Yeah, I just paused it for a second to double check. So, the nice thing about a spreadsheet is if you do make a mistake or something like that, you just, all the equations that I have in here will pick that up. So anyway, so it looks like this is actually 11.8. Or not 11.3. So what I did is I said, well, if I can't just fire up 8 24s or 8 10s, what would happen if I tried to blend them together? And so first I had to figure out how many run per hour, and then I had to figure out what percentage of the 8 that would be. Since there's 9 of these running and only 6.5 of these, I'm not going to have. It's not just going to be, an even number. Like I can't just do 9 and do 3, 3, and 3. Those aren't going to start up even. So I looked at the number running and got a percentage, and then multiplied that by the buy-in to get my average buy-in. Same thing with the rake. So average buy-in, average rake, right there. And then I figured. With this 25 going total, it would take about 20 minutes to get all 8 started, and I tried to factor that in a little bit when I looked at time. Hourly on the 45s is really tough, and I don't know the answer. I know what my Hold'em manager says, that they're average about 70 minutes, but if you win, they go 2 hours. So unless you're firing the tables up consistently over like the course of a 4 or 5, or if I'm going to sit there and play them for 8 hours a day, that would probably be a good hourly to go by, something close to that. But if I'm just going to fire up a set of these and then either another set or do something else, then that hourly doesn't really apply. So you have to be careful when you look at your Hold'em manager and you're looking at the hourly it gives you. That's not your true hourly rate. So on that, I've kind of put that in, and I think 50% ROI is probably high. I don't know if it's really that high or not. I feel like it's pretty attainable, especially because I'd be putting in $5 ones and $10 ones and $24 ones. So I don't know. That may be high. I'd have to get the numbers on that. I've heard that 25% is kind of really good ROI for those. So, and you can kind of play with that. You can say what your ROI is if you got a good enough sample, or what you think you can get. And then I just made this into a sortable table, so I can actually go and look at, based on what I put in here, where can I get my highest hourly? And so what I did is I put in some estimates. I don't know if these are 100% right. I don't actually even know if I can beat the $60 turbos, but theoretically I can get myself to. I know that I can, if that's what I want to do, then I'll learn how to do it. I'll either hire a coach or just read enough books or study Sit and Go Wizard enough. I'll get there. So I look, so, okay, 66 is the highest, bam. 9-man supers, don't have the bankroll for it. I had to pull a few $100s out of my bankroll the other day, so it's at about 1,000 now, and I actually pulled it out yesterday. So I don't have the bankroll for that. I also made a bankroll, just a piece of paper I put up with all my bankroll requirements and stuff, and for the for the 9-mans for 60s, I want about $2,100. So, and that's at a minimum. I'd probably want more than that, especially if I didn't know I could beat the level. So, can't play those yet. Not even to the point where I'd want to try the 30s. For that, as far as bankroll goes, I need 950. So, that looks like right now the highest potential. And let me talk, this 6-7, that seems high, right? But the way I do these is I fire up 8, I play them out, and then I fire up 8 more and play them out, and fire up 8 more and play them out. And that takes about 3 hours total. So, that's where I got this number. By the time I get to the end, I don't want to be in a bunch of bubbles and heads up while also having 8 tables going. It's just, at that point, I want to be looking at 4 tables, 5 tables, and focusing on those. So again, maybe once I get really good, and if I've done these and played 1,000 of them and know all the spots, sure, I'll keep 8 going and I'll run them for 3 hours and then take a break and then run it for another 3 hours, and this number would be a lot higher. So the next is the 6-man supers. These I've played with them a little bit. Spencer, who he's gonna upload a couple of videos. A buddy of mine is he's been playing these a little bit and doing pretty well. We're gonna get him to use Hold'em Manager so we can look at his stats at some point. But he doesn't use it right now, so I'm not sure what his ROI or his hourly or anything like that is. But he's been doing well at them. These can be real swingy. $20 I would want a lot of buy-ins to play these, which I don't have enough. I'd probably want like 100 buy-ins. The 9-man 20s are next, and I have played a few of these. I'll pull my Hold'em Manager over here and we can look at these. Okay, so turbos. Alright, so let's make sure this is on the screen. Okay, yeah, so I've only played 132, and my ROI, like 18.6, there's no way. I'm running really good, and it's a little embarrassing, but I'll show you guys the graph. This is, let me bring that in. There's my graph. So, it looks like I'm running super hot, obviously. But at the same time, I feel like mostly I'm making good decisions. I've been reviewing my hands in Sit and Go Wiz, kind of looking at stuff. I do make some mistakes. They're usually not that big. And, it is what it is. I'm not really sure that I need to change up my play too much. I'm sure there's some stuff I can iron out, but yeah. So this is my equity line. Still positive, but only $61 positive. Which, if we look at that EV, yeah, like $4 an hour and 3.3% ROI. So, while I don't know if that's accurate or if the sample is just way too small and there's not really much to tell from that, if I go to stakes, I'm also crushing the $12 ones, but I've only played 21 of the 24s and slight loser. So I need to play more of those and get a good sample. I need to get up to like 100 of them, as long as I don't lose too bad, and make sure that I'm playing my A game when I play those. And at that point, I think that's kind of where I need to be right now, is the 9-man 20 plus 2s. Even if I can pull out like 8% ROI, I know I can play 8 of them at a time. And what I may do, how much does that kill the hourly? Quite a bit. But I may try playing like 6. I mean, I don't think I need to do that. But towards the end, it does get pretty hectic. So that's sort of where we're at for that. You can kind of use something like this if, I don't know, if people actually watch this and request it. I can probably, if you leave a comment or send me a message, do both. Leave me a comment and send me a message if you want this thing. I can send it to you. It works pretty well. I'll probably clean it up a bit, clean this junk up, and get a nice final product that if people want, they can use to, plug in your own numbers. You can put in 18 mans, the 27 mans. You can go on SharkScope. Maybe next month I'll get a SharkScope account so we can do a little bit of research on, where people are really making the best money, and figure it out, not just based on ROI, but how long these games take, and figure out, where we could potentially make some of the best hourly rate, because that's all we care about is hourly. So if you guys like this kind of thing, let me know. Hit the like button, leave a comment. If anybody wants the spreadsheet, shoot me a message, leave a comment, and I'm gonna clean this up a little bit, and we'll send this out. All right, we'll see you later.